Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man Bad Chad and Queen Jolene's on the camera and we are on air and it's Sunday Fun Day. I'm back at the hauler. When we took off with this bad boy, we put this one piece of square stock on there. We had a hard time sort of getting it ready to rock and roll. I've got the one piece put on there, the one piece of square stock. I've got it welded up down in here. I wanted to weld that up down in there before I start taking off and doing more and show you how I'm going to do it. You can see another piece of square stock welded to the hitch, and actually two pieces of square stock welded to the hitch. Just makes it that much stronger. This square stock is going to be welded to the body because of this, and this is going to be welded to the body because of the bumper. Just gives it more rigid, I guess. We have polished, just took the Eastwood machine and polished this side up. We're starting to make the bumper. We want it to make it look good for you and me and my Queen Jolene. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for it right now before your very eyes again, like we always do. I've got some square stock laying around. Some of it's, like when you get in that roller thing, sometimes the end stays straight because you cannot get that. You can only roll it back so far. So I'm gonna use some pieces of that. I'm gonna use all the pieces actually. I don't like throwing much away anymore because it's just too expensive. I've got this piece in here. I wanna connect that piece there on the top. I do not know, like last time, whether it's the same shape or not. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna take a couple pieces and nail this piece to this piece before we put that piece on. And I'm just gonna look at it right now. I'm gonna try to put this in the center. I'm just gonna go, actually I'm gonna do a cut on this bad boy. We'll do a cut there so it fits the body a little bit better. So there's gonna be a couple little cuts. We'll figure it out and we'll go from there. Not even plugged in yet. Actually, I probably shouldn't even cut that because I'm going down on the square stuff. Oh well. Just gonna look for the center from this to there. I'm just gonna center it up by eye. Just like so. And all that's going to do is hold that. When I put pressure on that, if I try to move it or anything, it's going to be connected to the body of the truck. I'm going to straighten that out. I don't know if that was worth it or not to try to do that with my fingers, but I did it. Let's turn the... Got a magnet maybe, hold that. See what happens. Just gonna try to put it in where it fits. Got it shy now is what I got it. Let's put it back here then. Actually, I'm just going to do that. Just going to slide in so it's tight. I'm going to nail that sucker on there. Get that off. We'll weld that on here in a second. Let's do another one. why I'm getting them so short, but I am. Just gonna tack that on there like that. And we'll do another one up here. Try to space it somewhat the same. Tack them on, and then I'll weld them separately. I don't think that's too bad. They're not actually spaced. Just tack that, bring that one over here a little bit. And I'm just going to zonk on each one on at a time. Try not to get too much heat going. Got my air. Just want to cool them off. Probably doesn't look bad like that, to be honest with you. We're way down here, metal's up here. I just don't want the heat to come up and warp anything. I'm gonna feel it with my hand. Oh, fine. Fine. And then we'll weld the outside one. You know, just as well as I do, a little bit of gap helps for penetration. Cooled off. Let's hit it down the side. Alrighty, instead of welding them all up right this present second, just keep putting the heat to them. I don't want to do that. I don't want anything to go wrong. So what I'm going to do is I got a couple more stanchions here. I cut them before we started because I knew what I was going to do. What I did is I cut some square stock. And I cut the square stock so I can put it on here. And then when I put a piece on top, we'll be right to the top of the hitch itself. So that's what I'm hoping, that we can go halfway, so we can do the bumper on the other halfway. But if I get these stood up straight, then I can nail that piece down on this piece, down on these things, which will hold it all sort of straight coming along there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I got a few of them cut there, so I'm just going to nail these bad boys on. I'm going to actually see if a magnet will help me. Ooh, that does a great job. Kind of keeps them up straight for me. Now I just have to decide where I want to put them on, that's all. And it really does not matter, because in actual fact, it does not matter, because it's all going to be cased in. These are just pieces to hold this square stock and the top square stock the same distance apart. It would be hard to know somewhat. When I put it on there, I got to face it, and I want to cut the piece of metal all one size, if it's 6 inch, if it's 5 inch, or whatever it is. I do not want to have this square stock up and down, so it does not fit right. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to help it by putting these stanchions in, and when I lock them down on the top of that, they should all be the same height all the way around. These 3 pieces here don't look bad. Heather's, let's just do this. I'm going to put one before that. Or should I guess it doesn't matter. Have it one in the middle of it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the middle. And the reason I'm going to do the middle is because I haven't got them welded up yet. If I put them right close to them, I won't be able to get it welded up nice. That's what I'm thinking. I'll get another one. Jolene looks amazing today, as always. Just got a lot of metal showers on those. I don't know what I actually would call them, but I'm going to do that. Looks good to me. Let's turn this bad boy on. Just eyeing it up, trying to get it to look the best it can. I don't think measuring any of this stuff matters at all, and the reason being is it's all being hidden, and it's just for inside construction. I'm just going to put that in the center of that. As long as it looks center, I'm fine. I'll get another one. Center of this. And it is supposed to be a bumper, so. Put one up back here. Why not? And it uses up, you know, it uses up the square stock. It does. Let's plunk them on. Magnets work nice there. Sharing the heat. That's all I'm doing. Sharing the heat. to get at that one. Didn't like how many times I hit it with the welder, but I did. Cooling it off. Might be better if I spot it, like I did that. Yeah, it was kind of silly of me to just weld these pieces on right hard and heavy. I probably should have did the one dot at a time. The reason being is, gives it a little time to cool, just like pumping your brakes. On these ones here, I'm just punking them on, so I'm not really worried about warping anything. Sheet metal, yes. On the square stock, no. Can't really get on the back side of them. Not even gonna try, or I'll make a mess is what's gonna happen there. Let's turn that off. Just wanna feel that. Nope, we're good. Just don't want no warpage, that's all. Nothing's warped yet. I don't want to warp it, so we'll just leave it as that. I'm going to take the flapper wheel and knock off the welds on the front, so when I put my metal, face the metal on it, it'd be nice and flush. This stuff here, I'm not even going to worry about it one little iota, and the reason being is you're not going to see it, it's inside. This is just for structural. Try and hold it flat as possible. So I'm hoping now, I have this piece here, we played with it yesterday. It was not the same. It was not the same. We had a lot of problem with the roller turning our square stock, made a mess of it. It really did. Now, as I have that on there, now you can see how I'm going to be able to face this and make it stay on there. Pull that in. This is what I'm not sure of. That don't look bad on there just like that, does it? Like I don't mind the look of all the square stock on there. Kind of gives it an open bumper look effect, but in actual fact, I'm going to close it in, but I like it. I like it. What I can do is I can play with the pipe some. And I can play with the pipe some. Now you come here, take a look there, sweetheart. You can see, look how bent up my pipe is. Look how way down there, not touching there. It's touching up on that one there. So it really is, the square stock is really quite a mess, to be honest with you, because this one's touching, this one's angled down. This one you can put your finger in, and this one's touching, so it's really not good. That's basically why I put them stanchions in there, because they'll help me get it on there so it's right. You see, is it gonna come up here? It looks like it's gotta come up in front too, does it not? Like, seems odd, don't it? Like this seems like it's lower there. I'm gonna leave that there like that for a second. Will this piece fit in there? No. So I'm just gonna put that in there for giggles. That can be welded there. That has to be pushed down there. I think I'm gonna apply it on and hopefully them hold it. That way there I'm not gonna mess with that pipe for, I could probably mess with that. You seen me yesterday, or seen us yesterday, how much we messed with that square stock. And I'm gonna try to use these things here to put it on and keep it straight. These pieces here are gonna hold the bottom piece from going in. These pieces here are gonna make sure that I get all the square stock on there straight and right and tight. Let's go for it. I'm gonna nail it on there, see what happens. If it starts bending things, then I gotta go backwards, pull it off, and fix it. And try to get the square stock so it fits the dice as it can fit. So I'm saying that the first one is okay because we have this piece in here. I want to bring it, don't mind the gap on it. Glove on. I'm going to nail that one on. I'm going to nail a little bit here, not all of it. Because if I have to cut it off, I don't want to go all the way in there. I'll weld that later. Man, we'll leave that there. That has to be pushed down to go on the top of that. So, here are clamps. And I'm hoping that that the bottom one is tightened right. Just want to make sure it's flush there. It's going to be a hard one. Now, I've got that in there, but it's not flush with that. So, it basically has to be pushed in. There we go. Love it. Love it. Hopefully, it'll hold. If not, I'm going to have to cut this all off. Nope. We're down on this one. Feels good. Just going to add a little weld here. Make sure she stays. I'm going to grind it off, remember. Good there. We're good there. Awesome. Look at that, come right around nice on that. We're right on the top of that. Now I gotta cut that. Gorgeous. It's always nice when you're planning something and it seems to go the way you want it to go. I want to go in the center of that because we got another piece coming around that side and we're going to get in the center. Not sure if I'm going to be able to cut that where it's at. See what happens. That makes me happy. I don't mind the look of the bumper like that, to be honest. Like, I really don't. Do you? I want to thank everybody for coming back. We appreciate it. Yesterday was recovery day. I often wonder why sometimes, why. But I don't want to lift up on that. And the reason being is when I lift up on that like that to cut it, it'll jam the zip cut. Don't want to do it. Just thinking about putting it up on something and cutting it. We'll just put it up there like that, maybe. Holding it. You know what they say, don't try it at home. I'm just going to tack this one on. Where there's a will, generally there's a way. See, it's got a funny look to it, and the reason being it's got a funny look to it because we're off the body of the truck quite a ways, and the truck's coming down like this. It's coming on an angle, and that's why this is going to be going on there flat and then coming into the truck. So. Beautiful. Let's get a pair of vice grips and vice grip that there. The clamps will do. I think they'll do. Vice grips would be better. Certain places for certain tools. None of them are in it. Let's use a pair of channel locks. I like using channel locks a lot. I find they're a pretty good tool. Just gonna hold that there for a sec. Good. All right, now I'm just gonna take back and take a look at it. This is what we'll do. We'll cap the top side. Actually, I'm just gonna weld that on here a little bit better. Beautiful. Now this beautiful jewelling, but beautiful. And this, on the back side of them are hard to weld. I want to weld the bottom of them, that's for sure. But the sides of them are going to be hard to weld. The bottoms will be not too bad. So that went well. That went actually really well. And I'm thinking that we're pretty well lined up to have a nice straight bumper. Like, got a little bit of a lean going on there, but nope, we'll turn it back on again. Gonna nail a few at the bottom. I'll nail this one at the bottom anyways, because it's and then can be done after. So I'm just going to put a piece of metal on the top right now. what I'm looking for. That's nice up and straight up and down. It's nice and straight up and down. Get a little bit, it's pretty good. Nice straight up and down. A little bit right there, I think, somewhat, but I think we're fine. And take the flapper wheel, knock off the heads of, I actually should weld the other side of this square stock if I put that in there. This square stock is in a little bit. Turn that back on. If I go to casing the top, I'm not going to be able to weld the back side of the square stock, so I'm going to do that right now. Because I'm going to case in the top. We're going to make a pattern for the top. Let me get this one. Not weld that one. Alrighty. I need to make, what I need to do is I need to make a line on the truck itself, because I need to know where the metal goes. If I get the metal in there, if I don't go in straight all the way along there, it could be tilted down or tilted up too high. I sort of want the metal weld on top of this straight into that. How am I going to do that? I'm going to take a ruler and do it probably. Let's grind off the square stock in the front, get the welds knocked off. Alrighty, so I got one there for a pattern. So when I go to, I don't really need a pattern. I know the height because I'm going to be going in flat there for the other side. So everything that's been done on this side, I'm duplicating it when it comes to that side. Toolboxes are sort of made up. The doors are sort of made up. The bumper I cannot put on until we sheathe the side of the truck on the other side and put the wheel well on, because I have nothing to connect it to. Gonna see if it has any love muffin. No, we're good. Let's do this. I want a line across the back. That wasn't very good. Not very good at all. Yeah, I got maybe have that down there. Okay, basically there's a line I can go by. I'm up a little bit, it looks like to me. we're up at least a quarter, because that's a quarter thick. So we'll come down a quarter on that, and we should have it. Let's grab some cardboard or some Bristol board. Got the piece from the fin. What do you think of first piece? Wow, hey? She says, Now, I have to make that fit there first. So I need to get ready. I need to get a pair of scissors. My marker's over there. Pair of scissors. And as you can see, every day you come here and watch what I'm doing, I haven't got a whole bunch of tools to do what I'm doing, and you do not need a bunch of tools either. I mean, let's face it, if you're into specialty stuff, like in, rolling out stuff, trying to build panels and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, I think it's great to have the stuff, but in all actual fact, you can build what you want. 2 grinders, a welder, a hammer, a piece of wood, some vice grips, that sort of stuff. You can do exactly what I'm doing. And if you've been following along on this build, there hasn't been much, a tube roller, you can buy at your local Harbor Freight store, your Princess Auto store, exact same kind of deal what's going on there. You can do the exact same thing I'm doing. You really can. And it's fun to be able to create. And when you create, there's no time for hate. Because you're thinking about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty basic shit, really. Gotta go in further. Well, or do I? Yes, I do. No, because it's going to hit. I suggest making everything that you do with your car, like if you're building your car, I suggest everything that you make for it, any panels of any sort, make them out of paper first. I explain this every time, but it's just something to I don't know, I guess to talk about or to show. There's a gap there. That's the gap. That's the amount has to come off that and that to make that fit that, if you know what I'm trying to say. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my I don't know if it's necessary to cut all that if we even got it right. See what happens. And if it's not right, I just do it again until it gets right. With paper, I'm going to cut that off shorter now. I didn't do that right at all, to be honest with you. Not even close. I liked it before. Jeez. Less talking would be better, probably, huh? Huh, baby? also, the better the pattern, the better job you'll have in the end. Just gonna put my dirty finger on it. Not liking how that's fitting along there. What I'm going to do, let's do this. Get some tape rocking and rolling. We're going to fix our poopy pattern. I need a little bit. Where'd I put them? We'll get that in the end. How's that? We're going to come back here straight. Figuring it out just a little bit better. Actually, this is what I'm going to do. I might run a piece of tape along that edge just to make it a little tighter than it is. Yeah, stick that there. Let's get another piece rocking and rolling. We'll gear it up later. Hopefully. Ooh, look at that now, would you? I'll bring that back some. I like this part here, actually. Don't mind that. I'm gonna do this. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to find one piece of metal that I'll be able to cut and put this on. And that way there it'll look nicer. But I can use a couple pieces. It won't hurt my feelings. Use a couple pieces. I'll put that on tight there. Make sure that's tight there. Too bad. It's hitting there. Glue that together there. Piece of tape. This will be my new line when it comes time to make the pattern. Just tighten it up a little bit. Pattern isn't that greatest, so I'm just tightening it up a little bit with this tape. going to use the tape as my new line. So when I pull this off, I'm going to be very careful with the edge of that tape. I've got it not very good right here. It's not fitting their best, so I'm going to make a new mark here. You can spend a lot of time messing around with a pattern, and sometimes it's just easy to fix it that way. For me it is anyways. Also, that's where the coat hanger come in. If the pattern wasn't that great, I had a gap, I'd grab that coat hanger and fix it. Strip this piece off or cut it off and see what it does for us. Not a thing. Cut this piece off. It'll just give it a little dimension. When you close that in, it'll just look good, I think. And it sure does add on the welding. Like there's, you know, once I put this piece on here, the welding has just gone from, you know, all around the edge. I mean, the spotting thing, get it in place, that's fine. But when you got to come in, you got to finish all them welds, like all around the toolboxes, all around the doors, all around that fin, up the fin, all the way along the top. Boys, oh boys, you're talking about a bunch of work. I don't know how many days we're into this right now, but it is getting, what can I say? It is getting monotonous a little bit. Doing what I'm doing here, like, you know, it's kind of a big undertaking. What I've took on is to build something from scratch. But, ooh, that feels good. Go like that. Take a little bit off. Once I get a few more things tidied up, we might move on to something else. Just give me a little bit of a release from this piece of metal that we got going on here. That looks good. Let's get a what do we get in this thing? 50 days? We have 50 days or more than 50 days? More than 50 days? 50 days in bed. You know, if you can make something like this in a couple months, you're cruising. What am I doing here? That's the piece I want. That's the piece I want. So I know I need that an inch longer there. That shouldn't be a hard thing to do. Stop it. Could be on there right, if not, I won't get a true read. Alrighty. Put the piece on like that so it stays where it's supposed to. It's quite a piece of metal to have something curved like that all the way around, and the reason being is when you grab your sheet of metal, I mean, that could take quite a bit of product to get that curve. I'm hoping that I have something there that's just putting that piece of tape on there, tighten that line up a little bit. Alrighty. Now I know I have to cut this up here because I've marked it so it goes in straight. I have to add a little piece right here. If you can see there, I got a little hole going on. I'll just add a little piece of tape to that. Alrighty. So there's the pattern for the back of the bumper, and then the other piece will be to face it. It probably, yeah, I like it. Looks good. I'm going to have to add an inch down at the end. I have to realize that when I do that. Let's grab some metal. Let's see if I can get a piece. I don't really want to take it out of one sheet. And the reason being is, ooh, this looks funny. We've got some jagged stuff, man. And I can add some together. I can add some metal together, obviously, make it out of a couple pieces. I do not want to run that down through the middle of a sheet of metal and take a bunch of area from a sheet of metal. And 18 gauge is what I use pretty well full time, unless I have a certain area where I want it thicker or I want it thinner, but generally 18 gauge is where it's at for me. I'm going to take a razor blade and cut them off instead of trying to peel them off. And the reason being is I might mess up my pattern. So I'm just going to cut the tape off. I don't want to mess up the pattern. It's very delicate. It's the only pattern I got. And I don't want to mess it up. Alrighty. Now I know I got to cut some off the back side of this one here, so I'm just going to pull this off here very. Kind of got a half moon thing going on. Didn't want to do that. That stayed good. That stayed good. The other way would be better. Alrighty. I'm going to tape that so it stays together. Put that tape back, and I should not have. And I get the wider stuff. flip it over and see what we got. Love to be able to get that out of that, but I'm not going to, am I? And check and see if there's any more metal there. Cross your fingers and got myself in here like a we've got a piece here now, haven't we? We've got a winner. And I'm going to just push this off for a minute, sweep that off. I wanted to use. That off up here. Alrighty. Magnet so it stays half decent, or one magnet. I did have some smaller magnets around, but they just took off. I need another inch on that, so I need to fix that. Have to remember all that stuff, I guess. I'll do that one. Say we're going to go for it. Marker. Not sure what that is right there, but something right there. Shouldn't hurt it too much. And we'll save this pattern for the other side. Need an inch here, did we do? If you recall? I recall. Put your back scooter. And it can go in a couple pieces. Yes, it can. You could run a couple pieces in there if you wanted to. But where I have that piece of metal, I'm going to cut it to put that piece in there. Kind of wondering if I should have shoved it ahead some, and then I could have got 2 pieces out of it. You know what I'm trying to say? If I shoved the pattern, this pattern ahead some, and bring this up here. You know what I'm saying? Huh? I still can, just have to mark it over again. What I'm thinking is, as I got that in there, I have to make another piece for the other side, obviously, and I don't really want to go and take another piece of metal and do that. So I'm actually going to move that. I am, just for the sake of the metal, what it costs. I want to see if I can get 2 of them in here. This. I'm going to see if I took and push that up there. I think I could get 2, could I not? 1 there. If I push that, say, up there like that. And then if I bring 1 down, I might be able to get 1. Would I get 2? So we'll just push this as head as far as we can and see if we can get. Just going to do it again. That's how it goes sometimes. We get our piece down there. I don't think I can get another one in here. I'm hoping. I'm gonna say I can. What's that, sweetheart?
It's worth trying.
Yeah, it's worth trying. Yeah, for me to waste or to not try to get that other piece out of this piece of metal, I think would be irresponsible. I've got nothing good to say, or nothing, I got nothing but good things to say about a Milwaukee marker. They're the absolute best. If you're looking for a shop marker, the Milwaukee's got every one of them beat. It works every time, generally. Keep the pattern. This is the one I want. Easy to get messed up sometimes. Alrighty. Let's cut that bad boy out. You would never want to use the tape that you're using in the shop, laying it on the floor, making patterns. You would never want to use that tape to tape up your car to paint. And the reason being is, see all the dirt? So I use a lot of tape and I lay it on the floor and I do a bunch of stuff with it, but I would never use that to tape up your car and then paint it. You want a nice, fresh, brand new roll of tape. The less dirt, the better. Now, I had a person stop in yesterday and he gave us a gift. And he gave us, we've probably been given a lot of gifts the same. And there's a 3-prong electrical cord that will plug into your extension cord. They're good? Yes, they are. for 3 chords. They're really good for 3 chords. But when you start towing, if I start bringing a grinder over here, zip cut over here, you must understand, if I have 3 other tools plugged into the same cord, that means I gotta drag 3 other cords with me across the floor and unwind them and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes it becomes a hassle. I know probably some think, well, you know, you'd be quicker, but can you get much quicker than bad Chad? Like, can you get much quicker? You have to ask yourself. And the reason being, like, dragging three cords around and 3 tools around sometimes, it's a rough go. It's a rough go actually cutting a piece of metal like this. Geez, I hope I can get another one of that. Be some nice. Wouldn't that, baby? Because we know we're going to need another one. Alrighty. Let's go back the other way. Got some metal hanging around, I do. Probably should have cleaned it before I cut it apart. What I mean by clean, I could have ran the Eastwood thing on it while it was flat and straight instead of this little piece, but we'll get it. We'll do it. Sometimes it takes a second for these zip cuts to sharpen up, and it took a little bit for it to sharpen up there. Once she sharpens up, I'm just gonna turn that Eastwood thing on for pattern. That's the pattern right there. I'm gonna turn that Eastwood thing on for a minute. All metal should be prepped before you put, you know, if you're doing something like this and you had a brand new sheet of metal put on there. I know I've let it flash rust a little bit, but you would never put a nice full sheet of metal on there and wash it off and prime it. You'd want to prep it, and what I mean by prep it is sand it Jolene's got that figured out. She can put a set of nails on you. Once she sands them down and glues a nail on you or something like that, you want to rip one off, you'd be in trouble, wouldn't you, baby? It works a lot better than just having, covering something and not sanding it. Alrighty, peel them off. I do like the bumper the way it is. I kind of enjoy it, but. And I mean by the structural piece of it, I like it. Looks pretty cool. Too long. I remember I added some on here at the end. There's a little piece of weld there holding that up. If I can even get in, probably a screwdriver and knock it off. Yep. That in there. Goes in there. Probably do a little bit of, that's the top of the bumper. And that'll be welded all the way around. And then we'll face that, and then it'll be like the bumper's coming off the truck. I like that. I'm not sure if I like it more or not, but what do you think? You like that more? Sheathe it in. Alrighty, there you go. We got the back bumper being sheathed in. We'll use that exact same pattern on the other side, and we're hoping that it'll basically fit. When the bumper's sheathed in, it actually takes away from the hitch here quite a bit. We can take it off, and there's nothing there you're going to really end up banging your legs on. Not that we're going to worry about that at all, but there you go. That's how we're building the bumper. I have to wait till the other side is sheathed in so I can run my square stock on the other side, and I'm hoping that I can get it the same. I have a pattern to go by when I bend my square stock, so I can run my square stock with that pattern over there, and then I can lay it down the ground and keep trying it until it fits it. Then I know that we have the right thing going on. I'll leave this open on the back. I'll leave it open until we sheathe the whole thing, and the reason being is I'll know where to stick in my little piece of square stock. I'll try to keep it basically the same, looking good, and that's what you'd want to do. I would think you'd want to make it look the same. I want to thank everybody for coming back. I appreciate it. I really do. Jolene appreciates it. Just standing back and taking a look at it, I think it's really going to make it. It's putting quite a bit of body to the back of the hauler. Like it's putting some nice shape into it. You can do this just as well as I can. 2 grinders, a welder, you know, a little bit of thought, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Build whatever you want to make yourself happy. I'm going to go on this truck for probably a little bit longer, and then I'm probably going to hand it over maybe to Nathan to get it running and get the wires going and get the gas tank hooked up. He's got all the brakes going good, but we'll see when we go from there. All right, everybody, hit like, subscribe, comment, Come back. Have a great day. Sunday, fun day.